Hi everyone, welcome again to another video. Now, in the video I'm actually going to, obviously I'll tie a fly. The other reason for the video is that I actually got in with some materials from Fuill. Not a huge amount, but just bits and pieces. One being, they have a thread range now. So I got quite a mix of different threads and flosses. This is a floss. You can see it's quite a bright floss, this one. Fluorescent, this is fuchsia, which is obviously a pink. You certainly a pink, alright. We've got other ones, come in these wee packet things, which I'll probably obviously remove when I'm using them. It's obviously, the packaging there is to suit stocking in the shelves in the shops. Obviously this is some of the floss. It's a very fine floss, much like a glow bright floss, but it's really nice and fine. We'll give it all a go. As I say, I have a spool of this one here is a 70 denner, which is basically like an 80 type thread. This is a black, and it says twisted, so it's a type of thread I like. I like a flat thread as well. They do have flat. There's quite a few. Good thing about the spools, there's 200 metres on a spool, especially the thread. I don't know, 50 metres on the floss. So 200 metres. It's just new. Pro thread. This is a twisted one. This is obviously white. White's a great colour to have. Colours, other colours. This is a flat thread here. Gosh, it is a flat thread, but it's shiny. You can really see how that shines. That's a great colour. This is a fluorescent fire orange. Geez, it's quite a flat thread. It's quite thick. I don't know if you can see it off the side of the actual spool. So I'm going to be using these throughout the year. I'll be using them quite regular, obviously. Another rope. This is a brown olive. It's quite dark looking there, but it's a nice dark olive. How about the other colours we got? Got another 70 here, which is the finer. There's a 100 metre spool, so they obviously do a 100 metre spool as well. Personally, I like to buy the 200 metre spools because of the way I tie. I get through a lot of thread. So you can buy either. As I say, I'm going to go through quite a lot. Other things I got a selection of the foams and body. This is the tubing. I've got obviously this one is the hard foam cylinders for like boobies, things like that, in different thicknesses, different colours. The ant one has a wee fluorescent tip on it. You can use them either way. You could use them in tying. I would use them in boobies as well. Try and find some finer one. Did I get some finer ones? Well, there's the heaviest one there. Looks like it's a 5mm. Mainly used for boobies. But we'll try it and see how it goes. I like some of the colours, so the reds and so on. I do have some of the finer there in another drawer. Other things I bought. I got is I'll get in this box anyway. The CDC, they're kind of big packs. All the colours of the CDC. Jeez. Obviously, very important colour, white. This is a domestic duck looking. This is the type of stuff I like to dye. A lot of people ask me about the dyed CDC I use. Mainly I use it obviously in wings, but I like to use it as a dubbing blend. I mix it into my dubbins. This one here, nice brown. These are the 3g packs, if I remember right. So there's quite a few colours, as you can see. There's quite a lot. So I'll be messing about with that. I get some more of I was quite happy with you can't see the colour there. We've got the Parapost, which I like to blend into the ultra dry yarn. I like a straight yarn as much as a kind of crinkly or one that's got a lot of air in it. So I like to mix the parapost straight with the ultra dry yarn. So we've got a few colours there as well. I only had 1 or 2 patterns, so I went crazy. Got some of my favourite dubbins from them again, so I get some extra packets of the ones I like to use. Dark Hair's Ear, I use it all the time. I use it in a lot of patterns. But the main reason I was going to the video was just to try the thread, see what it's like, especially the finer one, because it's the finest is the one I use a lot. See how it goes. See it. I mean, I have tied a couple of flies, tied a couple of midge. Basically tying with the materials lying on my desk. I had some quills lying on my desk that I forgot to put by. So I'm going to zoom in and I'll show you a pattern. I'm just going to tie. I was actually tying some midge. So subsurface or wet. See if I'm close to that. That's fine. Thread, as I say, well, I'm using the new Fuill. It's there. It's Pro Thread Twisted. It's called. 200 metre spool. Like any of the threads I get and use, whether they're waxed or not waxed, I run the wax through it. I prefer to wax my own thread. Now, hook choice, what I'm tying is just a subsurface midge pattern. It's good in the summer months. This is a quilled version, size 16. So I say I'm mainly just tying to materials lying on my desk. And I grabbed one of the CDCs, one of the dyed versions. So I'm just coming around the bend here. I'm going to tie in a strip quill. This is Peacock eye feather, which I've used bleach to remove the fine hair out. So I get the quills. Trim this away. I'm going to cash it in with the dark side at the base. You can go either way. Now when I tear this off, there's a small sliver of the stem still on the quill, which I use to actually catch it on. I'll try and do a better job. There we are. See what it's like. Now, just going to run the thread up. Covers quite well. I'll run it to the point of the hook. Come back down to where I cut in the quill. And back up. Just to thicken the body a wee bit. Now I'm going to wind over. In this case, I'm going to wind over some varnish, clear varnish, just a thin coat. You can basically, if you want to protect the body a wee bit better, obviously you can varnish over the top, or you can put your resin on. Now as you wind this up, you can leave a small space, so you get a better sort of rib, nicer body. Now when you're ribbing this fly, you're not ribbing it to hold it together, you're ribbing it to get a quill body. So as long as you wind it up a nice tension, it will sit and it will not break, so you get a lovely body like that. Now you can give it a second to dry. It will stick underneath. I'm just going to take away the excess. Dries quite quick. That varnish I've got there's Veniard varnish, and I've thinned it down so it dries quick. Legs, I'm going to put some hopper legs on it to get a midge like. In this size of fly, it's a 16. I'm going to only 4's enough, especially if you're going to be fishing it mainly wet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just bring them 90 degrees from the stem. That should line them up. Then I'm going to use. These are lined up. Basically, the hook shank to separate them. Now, if I was tying a few of these, I would sit down, do the bodies. And varnish them and allow them to dry, because I'm tying them obviously for the video. Now I'm going to separate these just by a figure 8 through, get them to sit the way I want. I want them to sit out very leggy like. I do. Trim this away. Now you could put hackle on this. You could leave a hackle off it. I'll show you a couple of versions. There's sort of this one, there's no hackle, no legs. You can do that. Here's a lighter version. This which got no hackle. It's got the legs, CDC. Both have CDC's wing and the sort of feelers at the front. So this one, what I'll do is I'll put some hackle on. So what I'm going to do, because of the way I'm tying it, I'm putting the hackle on just now. Meaning I'm tying it in, ready to tie it on. So I've got this is just a cock neck. It's a Chinese cock, Indian cock type neck dyed black. It's quite a soft fibre. It's a kind of type of hackle you would use. You could use it for a dry fly as much as you could use it for a wet. Just remove the fluff at the base, front of the hackle towards the eye, because I'm tying it like a wet fly. Here it's waxed. And I'm tying it on the side of the hook. I've got a couple of CDC now. This is the CDC from Fuill. CDC puff. This is a blue Dun. It's a grey. It's a dye colour. It's a premium version. It's a bigger pack. You get smaller packs. Just going to grab a couple of small feathers. You don't need the big feathers. Just to give the impression of the wing. Now this fly, you want to try and keep it in probably a top dropper type fly. So I've got the tips of both the CDC and bring it together, these two feathers. So because it's a midge, I want it less than just to the back of the body to give the impression of wing. Just pulling it together to catch it on the top. Just going to wind towards the eye of the hook. Check the length here. You can go a wee touch longer, just a wee touch. That's fine. Take a thread towards the eye and leave a bit of head length. You'll see the head length. Bring the hook around a wee bit better so you can see it. There. And I'm going to basically tie in some. In this case, I'm using a Euro Nymph dub. There we are, Euro Nymph flash, and this one's a black green Peacock. Now I have been using some, and I've been mixing in some CDC and some of the dubbing. I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use it raw. If you use the CDC in the dubbing, it'll help to, if you're using it, it'll help to keep it up. If you want to fish it on the surface, but then you can let it fish below. Now what I'm doing here is dubbing it on lightly, coming up the thorax to the wing, coming back through, bring my thread to the front. Then I've got to find my hackle pliers. I know they're somewhere on my desk. Oh, there we are. What I'm going to do, leaving this long so I can basically hold it out of the way. Then I'm going to bring the hackle through. So there's the third turn. You can take a turn in front, quite easy. Then basically cross your thread, 2 or 3 turns. I usually just release the hackle pliers, draw everything back, just form a head and fold back the hackle. My varnish, just going to wipe it on my thread here, just brush it on in this case, about 1 centimetre down from the eye, and then we're going to wet finish. Tighten up, trim away my thread, trim away the tip of the hackle, or you can just ping it off. Actually, I usually just, because I've tied it in nice and tight, I can ping that off. Now you can trim this flush, or you can just leave it and give the impression of basically in the adult midge, there's obviously, especially the male, they have this kind of fluffy like fibre coming from the head area, which is basically antenna, so they can find the females in the breeding. So there we are. Now what I'm going to do here is just blow the hairdryer through it just to get a nice shape, but you could keep it like that. You could basically fish this as a dry if you wish. But top dropper type fly, I would use that in the midge, especially for the wild brown trout. They love flies like this, so they do. So you can keep it quite open the way it is. But I like to blow the hairdryer through it just to get a shape. Just a shape and see what it's like, because that's what it's going to be like when you're fishing the fly. There you go, just a wee Quill midge, nice wee pattern. The thread, as you can see, it was performed really well. It was nice and smooth and didn't fray. what can I say? I can quite happily use it. So, but as I say, as the years go on, I'll be using all the flosses. I'll find uses for it all. Maybe tie up one or two new patterns, see how it goes. I'm quite intrigued by this colour. Some of the colours of the heavier thread, Pro Thread Flat, 210 denier. That's quite a thick. I'm not into all this. What it should be, how thick it should be, but I would think the 210 is quite high because this is a 70. So the lower the number, the thinner, the finer the fibre, or the thinner the thread anyway. So anyway, folks, there we are. Nice wee pattern. As I say, as always, if you have any ideas, anything you'd like to see me tie, just let me know. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and again, thanks for watching.